gonna stream it up. A little double stream today. Let's see. You know what? I really gotta make sure people aren't emailing me trying to throw money at me. Hey, good news. Nobody is. Alright. Let's dig in. Here we go. We can. Let me turn these off for a little bit. We don't need this on everything. I think this is my new favorite Zelda track. It's not new necessarily, but it's fairly new to me. This is good, but we need specifically the angle here. Here and here. This Z needs to feel more like it's lined up with the Z. This angle, where it's going and that needs to be more in line with what we're seeing here. Specifically. And I had an idea about how to tackle some other things that are important. It's funny, some of this stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. Huh. Maybe it doesn't have to be so obvious. Somewhere in the middle, maybe. But it can't be at that angle. But one thing that can work out then is, I'll turn that off for now. We can still have the zigzag at the angles that we want. But I'm going to lay it so that it's the zigzag of the light from the lava and not the lava itself. Little tricky. And what if instead of seeing the lava, you saw the light of the lava? Lava light there, and then that kind of effect. And what I'm learning from this right now is that probably would have been smarter to design the flow of the lava first and then base the structure of the mountain around that, but live and learn, I guess. Look like it disappears, comes around the other side, and then has a little switchback. There's a like a compositional theme here of the Z. And if you look for it, you'll see it everywhere. Okay, so one of the problems here is this lava up there is too bright. I mean, it should be bright, but it's... we need to bite into it a little bit. Can't have it stealing our attention. Maybe we don't need it here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need it there. As cool as it would be to see cool as it would be to see this guy sort of frontally lit by lava, we can do well enough having him sort of side lit. And he's just not that important. It's all about these two. They'll be lit sort of equally by lava in the middle. This feels better. Let's try it again here. Yeah, that's not doing enough to justify the disruption it's sort of causing. Here, where his little fingers are floating off, I want to fix that real quick. Let's save a new version. There's some weird things happening because this Tektite used to have a different pose, and so I kind of, where I didn't have to have a solution for his arm and his body before, now there sort of needs to be one. I haven't noticed that until recently. Also, the lava burst happening there. Yeah, some of this stuff is just not stacked right. It's okay, and that's just a matter of cutting things out and putting them where they need to be. Hey. It's morning. It is morning for me. Good morning. Definitely still morning. Yeah, I hear you. I got up at 4 a.m. to kick ass, and then did a stream, did a bunch of stuff with my kids, and you know, getting them to school and whatnot. And then I was like, oh, I'm tired, so I took a rest, and then I woke up and I was like so guilty. I was like, oh, I can't believe I rested. I'm sleeping the whole morning away. done nothing all day, and then I was like, wait a second, I got up at fucking 4 a.m. Like, yeah, that was early, but this is not a bad one. It's good. I'm noticing right now that I forgot, or, you know, it's not like I forgot. The composition used to be different, so this little leg was hidden. But, like, you can see I didn't even finish drawing it. And that's because it was hidden by the different pose that used to be in front of it. But now that it's visible, it's like, oh shit, I gotta fix that. Lots of little things. I've been trying to figure out the flow and composition of the lava, and I feel like this is good. I don't want like a bunch of distracting like streaks of lava up here. Like this is about as far as I want that to sort of be apparent, and even so, I'll still probably cut all this back. There's a lot of work to do, or it feels like there is, but even at this point, it's starting to look good. I'm ready to start putting in some of the lava light. I mean, you see the light, but not the effect of the light on Link or the Tektites and the mountain itself. I'm gonna work on that. It's a lot of work. I haven't done anything that's taken me more than a day or two in years, probably. When I was working on stuff for like a week or two, it was definitely a lot better. I'm not accustomed to like in my storyboarding stuff, it's like I usually average under 10 minutes in a sketch. Like a 15-minute sketch is like a good, long, generous time to get some real nice drawing in. So this is like a scale that I'm really unaccustomed. However, now I'm feeling more empowered. And see, look at this. Look at this. This back leg, I drew it, but it's not resting on any kind of surface. So it's like, okay, I need to address stuff like that. Yeah, because there's a whole and you can see I drew like the front part of this leg, but then there's no leg. You know? It's like, well, just do it quickly. But I'm like, okay, if I do it quickly, will it be bad? Like, I don't want it to be embarrassing. It's tricky. It's like I'm not necessarily using the same tool at the same setting. The part of my brain that I use for coloring is different than the part of my brain that I use for... Yeah. No, I totally hear what you mean. Like, it slipped by my notice, so it'll probably slip by everybody else's. There was the one where the one I drew where he's fighting the Stalfos, for instance. There's a whole leg missing from one of the Stalfos. The Stalfos only has one leg in the background. And when I saw that, I was like, how the hell did I fuck that up? Like... I was just like... I may go back and remaster some of those a little bit. I can't help but see a lot of small things that I'm like, ah, shit. Eventually, you spot those flaws and you're like, damn. What are you gonna do? Where I'm like, nothing's stopping me from taking it back. I can totally do that, I guess. Stalfo's like, yeah. They're like, it's AI. See? There's no leg here. It's like, oh god. thinking about that too. I can go back and naturally improve my own drawings, but I don't know. When you move on, you kind of want to move on. Yeah. I think in that case, like I still, like I don't care about going back and adding the leg so much. Or anything else, because it's like, I don't want people looking at the old stuff again and being like, I don't see anything different. Like, what is the point of that? Like, they're like, no, I don't like it any more or less than I did then. Thanks for doing something, but, you know, that wasn't something that I cared about, actually. Why do these look so dark? Why can't I get it? There's something... It's fine. And now we need something here. Some sort of structure for the thingy to stand on. Lava light. Go. Oh, and thank you for liking my Art v Artist post. I don't mind stuff like that. It's I like to put my face out there. Okay, this feels like we can. Oh, I do like to. I might have misspoke because I'm mumbling, but no, I like to put my face out there. It's good. Good. I don't know. I'm not embarrassed by it, so I'm like, okay, good branding. Shrink it down. Make it look amazing. Yeah, eventually we'll put in like atmospherics and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna save this, and I've got about 45 minutes to start the wonderful lava light process. So let's do that. Okay, this time I'm gonna remember to start a new layer, because previously I'm not trying to, but I keep painting on top of the same layers, and I don't think that's good. Yeah, I'd have more control if I had the lighting for each thing on a separate layer. So link lava light. Okay, and this will allow me to draw on top of the lines as well. Okay, so now the lava is going to be brighter, but not necessarily. It's not going to be like bright like the sun. I kind of want the. Let's see, how bright is this? And right now, this is sort of artificial, right? That's the other thing. That's the other thing I have to remember to do right now. This is important. No, I mean, I get what you mean, but the hints of sunlight aren't bad. Okay, this isn't too saturated. The lava that I'm using so far is a little too saturated, and what that's going to do is it's going it's going to be very difficult to, as I build up with the color and the light, having, like if it's already super saturated, it's going to be very difficult to go past those like speed limits. I don't know. I don't know what the proper analogy would be. Lava burst, lava light. What happens to me is is not necessarily everybody is this way. I've seen people just be like, oh, I'm perfect with color, and they just do it, you know. But what I do is I get into an arms race where I'm like, there's going to be an orange thing here, so I'll make it orange, and then this thing next to it is going to be orange plus orange light. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to make that even more orange. And then this thing is orange plus orange light plus orange bounced light. So it needs to be the orangest of all. But then when I try to do it, like I can't make it any more saturated. That's because I started out too saturated. So there was nowhere else where I could go. I have to like leave room for like the process to finish itself afterwards, which essentially means like choking out the colors a little bit. That's just my little process. So this will look, I don't need to do it that much maybe here. That's funny because like this monitor that I like down here, these colors don't look as saturated as up here on my cheapy monitor seems to. Hi Uchi, what's up? Kiki, what are you doing? Okay. I just want to suck out some of these some of the saturation on the lava. And when I do it to all of them, it won't look too crazy. Because we've got like all the cool colors in there that are still there to help the lava read as nice and warm. Okay. Okay. That's as definitely as saturated as I'm willing to let all that go right now. Okay. Link lava light. That's his skin. We're gonna add, and I'm gonna try and make it twice as bright as the as I was making the ambient blue light. Let's see how that goes. That's good, but it's on the wrong plane. I mean, maybe it's good. We'll see. Let's try it out for a little bit. What's tricky is this almost looks as bright as... Let me do what I never do and save a swatch out. So, here. There's a swatch. Okay. Or that won't do. Let's do it up here. Okay. Now, is this color brighter than the... Because we're not seeing the light source. This is tricky. The brightness behind his head here is not the lava itself. That's the sort of glow coming off the lava. So that's not equivalent to the brightness of the light source. You could therefore expect it that if we've got this effect here and this effect here, that the light source underneath is much brighter, but we're not seeing it. So it's okay. Now we just have to make that consistent. All right, I'm going to trust myself and try to be consistent with the process a bit. What does that mean? And I always reduce out the lines as well. Like I take it down like to like this, right? Yeah, I think this will look good. I just have to be brave about it. Maybe if here, I'll take those down to... That might be smart actually right now to do, is... adjust things so that none of the lines are more than 75%. The line weight right here looks nice. I mean, it was at 50. Is that what I did? Like 50%. Is that too much? It looks fairly painterly like that. Maybe I should be working like that. What if I just get really bold with it and everything's at 50? So I have to keep pushing it, you know? There's a thin line between genius and madness, yeah. There's a transparent line. How about, we'll split that difference between genius and madness. We'll go with 66%. So let's get everything to 66%. So it's more or less consistent. More than 75, less than 50 is the change. Sometimes being a little mad or different does better online, yeah? Yeah. But I'm not, you know, I'm not immune to the negative emotions that come with putting something out and then seeing it do poorly. And it hits me too. And I'm not saying it would do poorly based on its own merit, but it might do poorly just because of other things. But if I tried something different and it did poorly, I might think it was that, you know. Yeah. I'm already doing like a lot of different stuff. Everything about this is a little bit out of my wheelhouse. It's a little bit in my wheelhouse, but it's a little bit out. Is that it? Do it all already? Here, let's check. So this is before the stream, and this is right now. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, it's nothing drastic. Yeah, looking at it now, if you thought this, I mean, you might think nothing had changed at all and I needed to actually do it. Like, hey, take those lines down, you know? So that's what I'll do, is I'll just get used to this. Like, this will just be like the new normal thing. And then the next time I take it down another notch, it won't feel that drastic. Right now, going from this to this feels huge, or it felt huge, even though it isn't. It'll be the same thing. I like saturated pieces when the color helps convey the mood. Yeah, I feel like you're not describing this. Or maybe you are. This will be more saturated eventually, but I'm trying to go for like that dark aesthetic. Okay, so it's good enough start to Link's color there. Let's do his green tunic now. Attempting to replicate the same proportion. Of light. Like, to me, these almost read like the same color. These two colors, they looked exactly the same to me. They don't, like, I can tell that there is a difference. But it's hard. It's hard for me to, it's like I have to really think about it. Sometimes the artist will just place a really saturated raw color, and it will sometimes look real nice, like it's eye-catching. Yeah, I've seen pieces like that. A piece like this are more comfortable to look or see at, less distracting, but looks good on a wall. Yeah, what I'm doing with these is they're not intended to like it'd be nice if like they, you know, were really popping off as something that was universally recognized as extraordinary. I actually don't think this stuff is that good. But it is, it isn't intended to like hit that like dopamine rush of like novelty. Like it should hit some novelty, because I don't think the technique or the subject matter have been beaten to death. It looks like it's still of a movie frame or a real moment. That is the thing I'm trying to do, is like, yeah, what if I was a concept artist on a Zelda movie? You know, wouldn't that be fun? Hire me. It could happen. At least something like this could demonstrate that I could do that. Just thinking about the light. because they're different audiences. Like the audience for like an Instagram reel is not the same as an audience of people who hire concept artists. And what could like if I get enough of these out and put them out there and like they get noticed, what could happen is they get more or less conflated with actual real concept art for like a Zelda game or something like that. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but it could happen. That kind of stuff might be the ticket. And it doesn't even have to be like Nintendo. My own clients hire concept artists constantly, and they don't make work as good as this, but they're not it's funny. It's like people don't want you to be that good. Great at placing details quickly. Well, I think it's my process isn't necessarily fast, but it isn't slow either because I feel like I'm making a lot of mistakes. Might have got too bright. Let's try this again. Yeah, that's better. When I make mistakes, I feel like I catch them quickly, and I don't compound them by forcing them to work. I'm like, okay, that feels wrong. Why does it feel wrong? And then I just sort of get to work on putting it where it needs to go. There might not be that much light reaching there. I like the idea of this lunge reading well, if it can. We'll see. Maybe even on top. to a lesser extent. It'll probably be like bounced light from the glow, like some atmosphere there coming up and over, but I'll do that later. Let's do the leather. Some reflections here. Then here on the glove, we'll catch plenty of that. Maybe not plenty, but definitely some. Looks awesome. Feels more integrated without going overboard yet. There's going to need to be a lot of light bouncing around on the rocks too. That's going to really help. Teeth will need some bounce light, or some of that light too. Maybe that's too much, but feels like it's too much. My coloring process has a sweet spot. It doesn't kind of like how on a piano, like you've got the keys at the very end, super high ones, and the keys at the very end, like the super low ones, but mostly like the ranges that it's good for working with are more or less in the middle. Why does that look like shit? I guess it does look good. Better this way. Tiny little details. All right, let me think here. All right, let's do some, oh yeah, the gauntlet. Some of these colors are so close, it feels like I could just use the same color. But I like the practice of just getting the calculation every time. It doesn't take that much longer. It feels like I'm honoring the process and getting better at it just through repetition. Becomes like a meditation practice. Brighter overall, plus a lot of red and a little green. Hey, new chatter, the Corey 16. How are you today? Are you a Zelda fan? This way. Try and draw. Oh shit. Try and draw a perfectly straight line. Come on. A little too straight across, but it should be fairly even. Try it one more time. It's looking pretty cool. The Corey, you're welcome to, I'll call you Corey, but the, I like the story from Zelda, but not the gameplay. Oh. Well, I'm doing a bunch of Zelda fan art. I can show you really quickly. Some of this is over a year in the making now at this point. Let me make my face go away. There we go. So here you can see I'm doing basically process vids, demos of how I would do, I guess, Zelda concept art if I ran the zoo. And so you can see a little bit of the coloring process. So you're familiar enough with like Link and Zelda then, and you know they've got there's horses involved, there's giant monsters. Zelda is a game franchise that spans decades. When I was probably 5 or 6 or 7, we had Zelda 1 on the Nintendo system, and I played it, and it's very difficult to understand, but that's how it goes, you know. It's fun. You know, you fall in love with the world. Crazy, and Zelda is an aesthetic as well. It's sort of a little difficult to pin down, and it keeps reinventing itself. So here's the finished version, Link in a graveyard. Or that's young Link in a graveyard. And the Zelda movie has been announced, and instantly I had all this anxiety because of all the things that could go wrong. But it's sort of stoked my imagination a bit to see what can be done to, hey, there could be a good way to do this, right? And so now this is the one that I'm working on right now. You can see start from really almost like a dark. You can make this short speech in our time lapse in a short video. It was really nice. Okay, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. I've got the it was a non-zero amount of work, but I hunted down all my saved vids for the Link versus Guinea, in the graveyard, and I was like, because I haven't done any editing in a long time. You mostly do fan arts with Sonic, but I'd like to do one the Sonic and Link looking at the sunset. Oh, that's great! What a fun idea. I'm a Sonic fan as well. Sonic is, however, well trodden creative material. Like, from my perspective, it's like there is a cinematic universe for Sonic, and comparatively the one for Zelda is a frontier, a fertile ground of an untouched potential. So that's why I felt more emboldened to go with Zelda stuff specifically. So here's where we're at with this one. I feel like it's going well so far. Oop. Until I mess things up. Do you post on social media? You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Because I post my stuff, and here's the real scoop: is I'm in I'm not exactly an amateur. I'm actually in the entertainment spaces. Specifically, my niche is where video game companies need to make cinematic trailers. They hire my clients, and my clients hire me to storyboard that stuff. Yeah, comic, game, and movie. Yeah. Let's see here. Did you ever watch any of the Sonic cartoons? Yes, almost all. Did you ever see Sonic Underground? Or the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the original series? Okay, cool. My dad used to write for some of those episodes. Let's see, he did 1 episode of Sonic Underground. That's not a lot, but he did 4 episodes of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog in 1993. So, like him adapting video games for cartoons. The only one you didn't see was Sonic Says. Interesting. I'm not sure which one that was. I like the opening of Sonic Ground. They have to find his mom. Oh, Sonic Underground. Yeah, they made a vow. Yeah, that actually, randomly, I was watching it because I hadn't seen that series. And I was like, this one's dark. Like, there's like, it's like dystopian, right? And they're like, it's like the Matrix. It's like Sonic meets the Matrix, right? Sonic Underground, 1999. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's cool. All right, so it's a family tradition of attempting to do video games justice by adapting them to other mediums, and it's difficult. It's like not an easy task. Because sometimes video game audiences have different expectations than, you know, broader audiences. Like Sonic Underground, but what really caught my attention was the Sonic X anime. Interesting. I really liked that opening intro for that one Sonic thing I saw, but I think that was a video game animation. Anyway, yeah, Sonic's cool. I couldn't play the video games, ironically enough. They were too stimulating for me. I would just like lose track of what's happening. Okay, before I lose track of what's happening here, I want to see if I can get a little further with the... This is like direct light coming from the unseen lava source. We need to have it hitting on the Tektite. So let's do it. And I got about 10 minutes before I gotta bounce. I have some drawings of Sonic on Instagram if you want. I'll give you a link to one. Yeah, you can post a link in the chat. I'll click on it. The Sextra is an amazing artist as well. Hold on. Thought I heard something. Okay. Yeah, Sextra doesn't post often enough, but they... This looks great. Okay, we're gonna sing the praises of Corey. Corey, your skills are there. They're a little raw. That denotes your age a little bit. So just so you know, this is a rated R stream, as in I don't mince my words. Hopefully you're at least 16. If you're not, I'd probably prefer you didn't watch it, but to each their own. Good luck with the rest of the things you got to do today. Oh yeah, no, it's nothing bad. I gotta like babysit my kids and then take them to go make cookies at another place. You're 17. All right, you make the cut. In America, we can, at the age of 16, drive cars to smash into people and go and watch all the horribly violent movies we can at the age of 16. So I'm not sure which country you're located in, but I'm in Los Angeles. Anyway, probably best if you don't divulge, but the you're welcome then to participate in the I actually really appreciate the sharing. One thing that I'm trying to do, and this is like, you know, a bit of a live wire, but I want to make an impression on younger artist audiences, which is specifically why I'm like trying to be like I don't know, do young people use Twitch? They do, right? So I'm like, okay, here I am. I'm going to try and demonstrate that there are, you know, techniques and topics that are here. I'm going to like this. Only 3 likes? Oh my gosh. Well, just post more of this cool stuff. I'll like it at least. This is good stuff. Didn't really start drawing till I was 16 or 17, so you're like ahead of the curve compared to me. It doesn't matter when you start. Stick with it if you can. I like this. Did you color that digitally? It's a little hard to tell. Was it colored with like on your phone or something? Still a beginner on the digital side. Listen, you don't have to overshare. Now, let me ask you: is this a composition that you created yourself, or is it copied from a reference? Because it looks like it's there's some basis from a previous thing. Looks like you play Fortnite as well. Anyway, you've done a good job executing this. Assuming you didn't trace it, I'd give you A+. If you traced it, it's not the end of the world. You know what I just noticed is kind of cool is, then this is obviously done on purpose, but there is a, right here in the, it's hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. Like they have the fan of Sonic's amazing hair taking a bite out of the sea, so that's really cool. You know, you can be new to art. I'm new to streaming and sort of putting myself out there on social media for general audiences. It's been a big learning curve for me to sort this stuff out. So, and I get dozens of likes on my stuff too, even if I try my heart out to make it look amazing. So it's not about the likes. It's not about the likes. Let me try this one more time. And you should work in any medium you feel is you're comfortable with. I think in terms of like tips and tricks that I might have to pass on, most of them, I would say, safely. It's safe to say they're in the digital realm. You had the original poster as a reference. Good. The I feel like if one is bold and super talented, it's like great, make your own compositions. But you can pretty much, especially if you're starting out, just do studies. Just do studies and see what you can learn. It's a little bit like training wheels, but you do need that stuff, you know. As long as you're not tracing, you're going to learn a lot from just doing studies. But if you've seen the Chibi character, he's inspired by Sonic and Shadow. He must be here. Okay. This person. This character, right? That's your original composition. My own Chibi in work. Here, I'll like this one too. Is that a stylus that they're holding? A pen. Okay. See, I'm freaking genius, you know. I think this is really cool. This is an excellent study. So I just want you to know that. You've got, obviously, you made an earlier attempt. and you're like, I can do better, and you did this, and this is better. This is really good. So keep it up. The other day, I was going through some stuff. I found one of my old sketchbooks, and I was like, awesome! I can show this on my stream and show how good I was at, you know, 15, 16, and I looked at this stuff, and I was like, this isn't very good at all. I can't believe I was had my head so far up my own butt about, like, I guess that was like, I don't know, I thought I was like just a couple weeks away from being like the next Leonardo or something like that, and it's funny. Anyway, having a little... I definitely want to encourage the sharing and the sort of openness and all that. That's to be commended. Round of applause. Round of applause, recording. Drawing has been a passion since I was little, and now I've thought that after I finish high school, I'll go to art college in the UK. All right, excellent. Oh, Kiki, don't smash things. My daughter is in the other room making noise. Yeah, you have well, I can tell you're making rapid progress, so keep that up. And, you know, art is so accessible and easy to have fun with anyway. There's no reason to not keep going with it. I'm doing my part to sort of see what I can do to preserve skills and the reputation of artists in a time of great flux. There's great flux in the world with tech companies thinking they can just jump in and outdo us. When they don't even understand their own technology. Any second now, the doorbell will ring and I will have to go. But till then, we will keep going. Yeah, not yet, but soon. I never thought I'd meet someone who would from the family take part in the creation of the Sonic series. Yeah. Yeah, my dad was also a writer on the Zelda series. Believe it or not, the Zelda cartoon. He was like the writer. He was like the main writer. He's credited as writer on most of them. For a lot of his career, he was story editor, but he mostly was responsible for making scripts good, as whatever they could do. Lots of pride in that, I would imagine, at the time. Yeah. This feels like it's too much right here. Need to be sparing. All right, you're trying to work on your own manga comic. That's excellent. That's great. That'll be great education for doing sequential art. That's the work that I do, is storyboarding, and it's very sequential. You know what I was thinking that was kind of funny is like a lot of religious art, or especially like ancient Roman art depicting the gods or the stories of, I don't know, all the really crazy fun creation myths. All that stuff is like fan art, right? Here's a statue of Hercules. Here's fan art of Hercules. It's literally like a beautiful, amazing statue, right? How funny is that stuff? Yeah, it's just fan art. All that is just fan art, right? Like Paradise Lost by Milton or whatever. Like that's fan fiction, right? It's the story of like the battle of heaven and earth or whatever. But it's fan fiction. It's like no different. Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo. It's like fan fiction. And the old Renaissance stuff or Greek stuff was just fan art to the human as a genre. Yeah, or fan art to the Romans. And then so much of like Greek gods and goddesses are just restylized versions of Egyptian ones. Right? So it's like an homage, or like a sort of an homage to those other cultures. It's like, oh, it's derivative, you know. You could make all the same complaints. Whole cultures based on fan art. Humans are just passionate about stuff, yeah. Well, you just see something, you love it, you can't get it out of your head, and you start making stuff about it. Doesn't quite look right. My own manga comic, it will be a romantic comedy and isekai. I don't know what isekai means. Hopefully I won't regret looking this up, but I like to live dangerously. Oh, yeah. The characters are transported to another world and must survive there. A different world, another world, or other world. That's interesting. My dad watches tons of anime. It's like all he does is watch anime now. Another dimension. Yeah. No, I've heard about these. It's like a, I don't know, librarian gets transported to, you know, a medieval castle and has to rebuild society from scratch or something. I don't know. Whatever the I see them. They've got long title names. Suburban housewife becomes an alien princess and makes cupcakes. You know, and that's like the title of the series. Oh, The Wizard of Oz is technically an isekai. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Or John Carter of Mars or something like that. Got a new chatter. Misfit X Queen. Hi, welcome to the chat. I regret to say I'm going to stop any second now. So, you like Zelda art or like what you see, you know, bookmark or give a follow or something. Only because I've got dad duties impending as soon as my kid's friend gets here. This is interesting. I don't know if I can have... Oh, you were lurking, huh? Lurkers are welcome. Lurkers are welcome. I'm debating... Yeah, I feel like that. I just went too bright somehow with the... with the light on the Tektite. Well, we'll see. A little bit rimlit. But like the reflection and light on the Tektite can't be brighter than the reflection on the sword. Like the sword has to be brighter, right? The sword is like shiny. That's okay. We'll just get in there and add more light, but I wouldn't want to ship it without making an adjustment. That feels better. On this stream, we use logic to solve problems. Raw logic, inconvenient logic. I mean, unless something looks cooler if we don't use logic, then we don't use logic. We just use what's cooler. Logic, imagination, whatever's better. Raw logic is a fun ring to it. It'd be a fun name for like a studio. Raw logic. Yeah, it's a neat name. Studios always have such strange names. I've always been puzzled about that. And my old teacher would not be happy if I'm not allowed to just have these super saturated yellows like that. He would say that's not how things go. Like yellow can't really be that saturated when it's bright, is what he would say. I'm not exactly sure why that would be scientifically, and maybe that's a limitation of like physical media versus like digital. But anyway, after Volume 1 comes out, I'll start working on the anime, but the hard part will be making hands. Saturated yellow is already pretty bright. Yeah, and I think he was talking more about like I mean, he could have been saying other things like just compositionally it doesn't look good. Like maybe he was saying that. Or it would be a rare circumstance in which like unless maybe it was a light source or just like a watch out, not so much like a hard fast rule, but like rule of thumb. Yeah, I don't mind playing with the limits. It's just but I know that like the reflection of light on the sword has to be, it probably should be, if anything, the brightest thing on in the image. There might be other things that get brighter. Are you talking to me, Kiki? Okay, friends are on their way. Here, this is a good time for me to wrap it up. Yeah, you got to play with the limits. I like to, you know, talk about the limits of my color experience are very limited, though. That is the funny part, is that your cat's name is Kiki. Yeah. Long story, but yeah, my daughter, that's not her real name, but we don't call her by her real name. We call her Kiki. That's good. This is looking good. So here's going to be a fun thing. Let's try this fun thing, because I like doing this. This will be a fun sneak peek at where things will look eventually. We have 1,000 details we're going to add, but the last thing we do as like a finishing move is to get the exposure right, which is sort of a process of messing around with like brightness and contrast and things in Photoshop. So all that is bad. When we have it exposed just right. Yeah. This is the thing. This is why we work undersaturated until like the end. This, and this is like, yo, Lucasfilm, call me. Yeah, it looks rad, right? Alrighty. All right. But we don't work like it that way. We're working like this. Okay, I gotta go. Doorbell's ringing. Everybody had so much fun. I'll catch you next time. Thanks, bye.